Hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me clearly? Okay. Yeah, let me know when I should start.
Oh, good. Wait. Let me start the recording, and then you can start whenever. Because if anyone missed the start, they can watch the recording again. 1 second. Okay, great. So the recording has started. Before I hand over to Tin to take us through today's session, I just want to say, yeah, congratulations and well done, everyone who have made it to week 4. I know that, as I said from the start, there's a lot you can learn in 4 weeks, but it's also not the end. It's only just the beginning. And the team and I are also discussing providing additional support after this week in case you need more time to complete any assignments, because, again, as we said at the start, we are here to make everyone succeed. when you started on this journey, you invested your time, you made an important decision to level up your coding skills as a blockchain developer in the Polkadot ecosystem. And within the Polkadot ecosystem, we are very lucky to have a lot of support from the different partners, from mentors like OpenGuild. So it's a very inclusive program, a very inclusive ecosystem that we have. We're not trying to filter out anyone who is not, so-called good enough. We're trying to bring everyone on the journey because we believe that anyone can learn to play a role in the Polkadot ecosystem. So yeah, so we will continue to support you after tonight's live session and after this week. But those of you who are ready to graduate, we will also send out a reminder of what the criteria are, which is to attend as many of these live sessions as possible, to complete your coding exercises, to complete the quiz. And yeah, I think that's it. It's not very difficult criteria, but we also recognize that some of you may still need either more time or more support, and we are here to do that for you. Okay, so without further ado, I will hand over to Tin to take us through today's session. Over to you, Tin.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and it's nice to be back here and share about Polkadot. And today we're gonna have a very interesting topic about integration and deployment. But first, what must say, I really appreciate Mandala for hosting this bootcamp, so that we can deliver Polkadot to more people in Southeast Asia. And yeah, and again, I'm Tin, and I would love to be here to share what I know about Polkadot. So after the bootcamp, if you have any questions or you want to learn more about Polkadot, feel free to contact Mandala, and also contact OpenGuild, so that we can support you and then provide you as many resources that we have, so that you can onboard on the Polkadot ecosystem and maybe find a job building your own parachain or building a decentralized application on your own. Yeah. So to not waste you guys time anymore, so I think I should start talking about the topic. And let me see my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. So like the name of the today workshop, so we're gonna talk about deployment and integrations, and you already learned how to customize your blockchain runtime, how to adding a new logic to your runtime, and also configure the new palette to your runtime in the first 3 weeks of the bootcamp. And I think right now you already more than intermediate substrate developers that you quite experienced, and you also have the fundamental knowledge of the blockchain itself, and also palette development, runtime development on substrate. But after you having a project, one thing that you definitely want to know is how to deploy your project, right? So that user can onboard on your blockchain network and then build applications using the technology that you already built for your blockchain. And that's the topic that we're gonna cover today. I don't have any presentation, and I will just use the code directly so that we can present about the real deployment process. Here I have the Parcel testnet. If you're not familiar with Parcel, so Parcel is a test network on Polkadot. So Polkadot Relay Chain is the main network. So you're gonna go to this website. I'm gonna send this website here. You go to this website. It is Polkadot JS app. If you're not familiar with it, it's a console. It's a console application, console website that you're gonna use it to interact with your blockchain. That's how amazing Polkadot SDK is, because whatever chain built on top of Polkadot SDK, that you can you have all the stack that we prepare for you to interact with the blockchain. And here I already have the front end that we pair with all the tools to interact with my blockchain. For the mainnet, you can find the Polkadot mainnet is here, and I'm interacting with the Parcel testnet. So actually, there's not a lot of things different from the Parcel testnet and the Polkadot mainnet. So anyway, Before like, we try to deploy a parent, let's see like, how the parent works. So after the parent is deployed, you can like find discover like all the parents in this directory. So in the directory, the structure of the parent is contained like first the parent ID, the block number where it's included, and then like when I'm not pretty sure, but as I remember, this is like when like the block is backed by the underlying like block inclusion pipeline, but it's not important for like the runtime developer. So like, you only really care about the ID, because the ID of every blockchain is unique. You need like a unique identifier to distinguish any blockchain on the main model chain, the main relation network. For example, I have like asset hook, bridge hook. These are the system parent. We call blockchain deployed by the core developer of the protocol. Usually it's parity technology, which also like the core maintainer, the core development company behind the Polkadot SDK, and they are the one who deploy all these system parent. For the system parent, it's mainly a common good blockchain that bring the benefit to all the blockchains in the same ecosystem. For example, like the asset hook act as like the central hook for all the assets on the relay chain. The bridge hook act as the central hook for like bridging the asset across the chain. You also have the core time blockchain. We're gonna learn about the core time later, but right now, just be familiar with this structure of the parent. Okay. A temporary parent. When you deploy your blockchain first time without like going to the auctions or like buying any core for it yet, it's become a parent. It's mainly, we can call it like on-demand parent, and then it's cheaper than the parent. Is also it's mainly like cheaper than the parent, but also like the computations power of the parent is also like smaller than the parent itself. So if like you want to become like a real production blockchain, so it will be likely that you should like convert your parent to the parent. Before we also have the auctions. So if you like if you learn about like Polkadot, maybe like in 2021, 2022, you might be like familiar with like parent auctions, candlestick auction, and to the auctions that like everyone that you can go to the website like parent info. That in the parent info you can find the auction status. I don't know if they still have that. Now they mainly just switch to core time already. So go to the parent info, click on auctions, and you're gonna find like the last auction is in September last year. That's gonna be the last auction of Polkadot protocol already. Now like the whole protocol, the whole community already they switch to a new mechanism to deploy. But before, like if you want to deploy, you like gonna go through the process of the auctions, and then the community member gonna like lock that dot token, and then like vote on your blockchain, so that like the blockchains that win the auctions gonna be the blockchain can be deployed on the relay chain. But like due to this process, create a very huge barrier of entry for like new parent team, and that's not a good idea. That's not like the ideal way to scale the network. And the way that we can do that is like they pivot to another mechanism called like core time. And here like, you go to the core time, and you're gonna find like how many number of like which core is occupied by a change. And let me find. So as you can see right here on Parcel, there's around like 38 core, and there's some core already like occupied by, for example, like Bridge Group, also like other blockchains as well, like Pop Network, Pax on Niscala. But like some core is not like occupied by any blockchain yet. For example, you can find like some core is still in these. And To learn about like the core time and also like the core time marketplace itself, like how to bid on the core, you can go to the core time marketplace. We have like Elastic and Region X are like two core time marketplace on Polkadot right now. All these are so-called like a third-party core time marketplace, and similar to like the NFT marketplace, core time is actually just an NFT, and then like a team who buy the core time gonna own the NFT, and then they can assign the bytecode, not the bytecode, but the binary of the blockchain to the core time, and then that like the core time and the binary gonna combine together, deploy, and then the binary, or I can say like the blockchain is going to use that core time, similar to like the traditional computer that is have like multiple core on Polkadot. As Polkadot is the moon of global computers, global supercomputer. So like you have a decentralized core, and blockchain deploy on Relay Change can buy as many cores as they want. I remember there's a limit for that, but like let's say like they can buy like, as many cores as they want right now. And then in that way, like, they can do like multi-core computations using like Polkadot technology. So on Region X, you can find like the number of cores sold or like the core on sale. So if you go to, let me connect my wallet. So let's say that if I want to buy a new core, so that I can like deploy my blockchain, I'm gonna go to like home and then like purchase a core. And then in purchase a core, you're gonna find out how many core is offered, how many core is sold, and the ideal core sold. So when you click on like purchase a core, you're gonna before like if I want to buy the core, I have to transfer. I'm gonna like cross transfer from Polkadot Relay Change to Polkadot core time. Actually, it must be this must be parcel. Yeah, parcel. Yeah, I'm gonna transfer from parcel Relay Change to parcel core time, and then I'm gonna enter the amount that I want to transfer. Let's transfer 1,000. Okay, so I have like the parcel testnet here, and you might curious like how can you get like the testnet token for parcel? So you go to like Polkadot, and then on the Polkadot, you're gonna enter your wallet address, and here I'm gonna copy my wallet address on parcel, copy. And I select the change at parcel relay. But here, actually, you can also like request the process token on directly to the parcel core time as well. But we actually want to guide through this process for you guys, so you guys are familiar with that. And as you can see, like before, I have around 4,000 parcel, and after requesting the token, now I got like nearly 9,000 parcel. So I'm gonna send like the parcel testnet to parcel core time, transfer to this address, which is my address. Actually, yeah. Then the transfer amount, I want to transfer around like 3,000 parcel inside the wallet. Yeah, as you can see, like now, like the transaction is already like, included to the block, and we're gonna wait for the block to be like finalized and then add it to the relay change. And as you can see, like the transfer is successfully executed, and now I can see like on my parcel testnet is 5,900, but on parcel core time is 3,000 already. And I go to the purchase a core. The price of the core right now is around like 1,100, and I think I have the sufficient balance to buy that core. And then I'm gonna click on so start updating into period. Yeah, I think like now it's still like in the interlude period, which is where like the renewals are gonna take place before like the news period for you like to trade on the core. So right now I think that we cannot buy a core, but yeah, like um after transfer to like parcel core time, then you can click on like purchase a core, and then it's gonna find the best the core with the floor rise 1,100, and then you can buy a core. Then you can like also like manage your core right here. Yeah, because right now I don't have any core, but anyway, that's how like you're gonna buy a new core. Now we go back to this portal, and then okay, now we already familiar with core time. We already familiar with percent per thread. So how can we like deploy our like local blockchain to like the relay change? I'm gonna use a tool called like Pops UI, and then the Pops UI is like a CUI tool for you to do all the work on Polkadot development. And you can install Pops UI here, running this command. Um, um, Okay, I already have a blockchain based per change. So this is just a blockchain template that you can create it with Pops UI, and I think you already like go through this step before in like the week 2 or something. Like it will already guide you to that. Now we go back to say that if you have any questions, like please send to the chat section, and I'm gonna answer that. But if you're not familiar with that, you're gonna run like pop new. So like the pops UI like provide you like a set of like command that you can like interact with your like blockchain code base. For example, like install that you like set up the environment for development by installing like required packages, or like benchmarking, like benchmark a palette or parachange, or you can also like call a change or a smart contract directly to like pops UI. Let's say like you want to create a new blockchain, you're gonna run like pop new car change, and then you're gonna select the template. But yeah, I think you're already familiar with that. Now we go to the blockchain template that I already have, and then I'm gonna run like pop-up. So this pop-up command gonna like be trying to maybe like before I go to this pop-up, I gonna go to the pop-up file. Okay, I'm gonna want to launch a local network. So we're gonna see like how like a deploy person gonna look like on the local. This also like use a tool called ZMPNet. I'll go back, go to the next one. Yeah, so this command gonna launch a local network, and the Pops UI itself use a tool called ZMPNet, and ZMPNet is a CUI tool as well that spout the ephemeral Polkadot or subtree network and perform the test against them. So this allow you like to, like I say, like mock a relay chain network or like a whole Polkadot network on your local, so that you can test your change. And now I go back, I already have like a local network launch with like 2 nodes, Alice and Pop. Then I go to this URL. So it's gonna open the portal again that you can like, interact with your local blockchain. So as you can see right here, it's on a parcel local testnet, and so Okay, yeah, anyway, yeah, that's how you launch a local network. And then what if you want to launch to deploy a Polkadot, you want to deploy a parachange. So you're gonna run a pop-up, and then with this pop-up, you're gonna specify the religion node. I'm gonna specify yeah, we need another terminal so that we can launch a local network. Then go to developer, .NET, let's see, then pop up again. So that is going to launch a local network. So here you're going to enter the relation node URL. Then I have this relation node URL. This is the validator node of the relation. Enter it here. Then when you deploy, one of the best practice is to use a proxy account to deploy a parachange. But you can also have an option to not like deploy a parachange with the proxy account, but like for security purpose, also like enhance the security itself. You are like recommended to use the proxy to deploy that. So let's say you are gonna choose yes. Oh. So then pop up. Yes. And then it's gonna enter the account that the proxy will make a call on behalf of. So like for this call to work, you have to create a proxy first, and you're gonna run the pop call. And this pop call, then you can like go pop call change, and then you specify the URL again. Go back. URL. Then I'm gonna create. I'm gonna select a dispatch, a palette called proxy, and then I'm gonna select a dispatchable or like create pure. Actually, pure proxy, and then the ID of the proxy. Then I'm gonna enter the account. It's gonna pop up like a signing portal for you to sign the transactions. Before signing the transaction, I'm gonna go back to the Polkadot Chase app that I can like fund the account with some token. So to fund the account on local, here's a trick that you can go to extrinsic, go to sudo, that you can like call with the sudo palette. Sudo is basically a super user that you're gonna act on as the super user to like call. Basically, like you can call anything as a super user. You're gonna sudo palette balances, and then you can set offset balance. I want to offset the balance of root test with 1000. And now I'm ready the account. If you go back, maybe like let me also like set the balance of this account as well. And then when we go back to the account, it's already have like an T unit. And then now we go back to the signing portal, and I think that now the account already have like sufficient funds to sign the wallet and to sign the transactions. and we approve, and then close. Now we go back to the console. And so you can see right here, like the side payload is received, and it's emitting this intrinsic. And you can see that now, like the intrinsic is already submitted successfully. Then you can also like find the proxies graded from the intrinsic. Here you have the delegator with this address, the delegatee as the address. Delegatee is basically the proxy account, and delegator is the account that you want it to be proxy. Now we don't want to perform another call, but we want to deploy a pair change. So we're gonna run pop-up again. And in pop-up, we're gonna go back, and then copy the validator node of the relay change, validator node URL of the relay change, enter, and then it's gonna ask you if you want to use a proxy again. You're gonna call yes, then you're gonna select the delegatee, then you enter again. Then now it's pop up the signing portal again to reserve the ID. So when you deploy a pair change on a relay change, there are two main steps. The first step going to be the reserving the ID, and the second one going to be the registering the pair change, registering the ID. So the purpose of the reserving is like basically like you want to reserve that ID first on the relay change, so like all the people cannot like take that ID from you. This to like avoid like two pair change can be deployed with like the same ID, because like you can maybe like pay for the transaction to register the ID without reserving it, and you pay a huge amount of money, because like deploying a pair change costs a lot of token, and you don't want that. Like if you already like, pay for that, but then like when the transaction is nearly done, there's another like pair change team already deployed with the same ID as you, and then it's front run your transaction, and then it's take my ID and then deploy on it. Now you already, but you also like cost like a huge amount of token already to like register with that ID. So that's the purpose of reserving the ID, because reserving the ID is actually quite cheap. So you're gonna reserve it first before you want to register with that ID. Yeah, sorry, I only have one screen, so I have to like switch between screen, which is not very nice. Now we want to go to the portal, and then add this URL, and then on the signing portal, unify like this the proxy account that you just inputted in the CUI. You want to register. Here is called to the register palette to reserve that ID, and with like the UI of the POP team, POP CUI, you can also like find the cost summary, like how there is cost, and also like if you have a sufficient balance to reserve the ID, you're gonna submit, and then wait a bit, approve. Now you can like close the tab, and then like go back to the terminal, wait a bit for like the block to be finalized, and then you're gonna see like the ID gonna be reserved. There's an error. Maybe like the input of the proxy is already wrong. So, but we're gonna try again with this URL. Maybe let's just skip this proxy. But yeah, you already learned how to create a proxy, and then how to deposit the fund to the proxy. Basically, you just input the URL of the address of the proxy to this like a CUI. Oh, actually, like I think I input a wrong account. I have to input the delegator instead of a delegatee, because like here is asked like if I want what's the address that I want to enter the account that the proxy will make a call on behalf, not like the proxy account itself. I'm gonna enter, and then it's gonna ask me to sign the transaction again to reserve the ID. Then I'm gonna submit, then approve. Now go back to the terminal, and then we're gonna see like the intrinsic is submitted for finalization. Okay, yeah, I think that there's something wrong. Okay, so I maybe like just submit that with not using the proxy. No, then go back. Then now you can see like it doesn't use the proxy. Yeah, that's quite nice that we both learn like the two methods to approach to how to deploy with the proxy and also like without the proxy. It's actually the same. Now we go back, and then you have to wait again for it to submit the intrinsic, and then waiting for finalization. And now you see like the intrinsic already submitted, and the parachain ID that we already reserved is 2000. Using this wallet, let's say like if on Polkadot.js, we're gonna see some status of the reservation. I change. I don't see any intrinsic. Register. Translate. Register. Then error 2000. Okay. I'm not sure if this is the right version. Anyway, we're gonna continue this step. After you already have the ID reserved, you're gonna like generate the change spec for the project before you register using the change spec. So we're gonna provide the change specifications to use. I'm gonna provide that, and then select the path to the change spec, and I select the change spec JSONs. The change type gonna be like local. That is one. I want the agent to run like locally on multiple nodes for testing purpose. And choose the relay your change that we'll be connecting to. It's going to be the parcel. No, actually, it must be parcel local. Yeah. Then release the protocol ID to use the local host output node. No. And it's going to ask like if you want to build the runtime deterministically. So this also like the best practice as well, because like currently the subtree runtime is when you build the subtree runtime, it's going to become like the WebAssembly binary, and the WebAssembly is not deterministic by default. But like for production's purpose, you want like your runtime to like whatever like input that you put to the runtime is going to execute with the same output. That's the way of deterministic runtime. So here it is asked if you want to build the runtime deterministically, and it's going to use a tool called SR tool to build the runtime deterministically. But like this is going to take like a very long process to build that, and this also like require containerization solution like Docker apartment. So like to keep it simple for like today's workshop, I'm gonna just skip these options, and after a while you're gonna see like the gen spec is already. The gen spec is generated at this path, and then you're gonna go back to the signing portal again. yeah, go back to the sign-in portal again. And then you're gonna see the cost to register the parent change. Here's register the parent change with the ID 2000. And as you can see, like, the cost for registering the parent change compared to reserving the ID, it's like extremely huge. Like, it takes around like 3,300 to register the ID. But like for reserving, is only the cost around like 100 token. Now approve the transaction and then go back. Then wait a bit for the transaction to be submitted. Yeah, and after running the command, you will see like the event is emitted. You have yeah, you have like this parent is already deployed, and you can say like deployment successfully. You can also like visit this URL right here, so like you can see like all the list of the parent that already be deployed. And when you go to the parent head, you're gonna see like this is the parent that we just deployed 2000 as the ID that we reserved before. And this parent head is actually not a parent yet, and you like is required core to become a parent. And actually, you can also, instead of using like POPs UI, you can also like reserve the parent ID yourself on the UI. For example, you can go to this reserve the parent ID, then reserve the parent ID when signing it, and you're gonna find the 2000 is like the 2001 parent ID is already been reserved by Alice. And if you want to deploy deploy a new parent head with the ID the 2001, you can also like go to this UI, select the code. Here is gonna be like the WAMP code of WebAssembly code, a binary code of the runtime. We're gonna go to the code. Developer. .NET, and then we go to base pair change. Base pair change. Then target release. Then we're gonna take the code of the pair change. Must be initial state. Gonna be the change spec. Yeah, so you can see like it's quite annoying like to locate the file manually. But like with POPCY, when you run the POPCY in inside your project, it's already like located on an accessory files, and also like provide you the interactive UI to deploy it, instead of like you have to go to every file manually. So now it's more like the initial state. I'm gonna select the genesis state of the parent change like 4727. Submit. Submit. I think here it must be a WebAssembly validation function, not the binary. So it must be, yeah, submit. Okay. Yeah, at least it doesn't have enough token to do that. So I think that we have to send some token to Alice. Send around 30,000 to Alice. Transfer, send submit. And now we go back to the parent change. Go to the parent part, and then we deploy the code. Here we select Alice. Alice like 01 parent ID 2001, and you go to like the this my account. it's also like O1 ID, which is like 2000 that we reserve to the CY. And here I select the code, patient, and then initial state, Smith, and Smith. And now you see like the product is already be deployed, and now it's still in like onboarding time. It's need like some time for this to be onboarding. And you can see like now it's become like the product running on this on your relay chain already, and that's how you deploy your price change to the relay change. So do you guys have any questions? I think like that's pretty much like everything like about like deploying a price change on relay change. If you have any questions, like feel free to ask, and I'm gonna like be here to ask like, to help you answer those questions. Okay, so if you guys don't have any question, I think yeah, feel free to ask any question if you have.
Yeah, while we're waiting for any questions, if you have questions also about the previous topics or exercises, we can also help with those questions. Let me check on Discord also. Also, hopefully everyone here on the bootcamp has a Polkadot compatible wallet, because as you can see, it is, yeah, it's mandatory, not just to receive your reward for the coding exercise, but when you're interacting with the Polkadot ecosystem, having a Polkadot compatible wallet is very important. So who here already has I assume all of you have a Polkadot compatible wallet? If you do, please give a thumbs up. Okay, good. All right, good. Okay, I'm looking at Discord for any previous questions that were not answered. Okay. While I'm doing that, Tin, maybe you can, are you able to explain how OpenGuild issues the certificate for your bootcamps? You issue it on an NFT, is that correct?
Yes, so similar to all the bootcamp that we already operated before. That we're gonna mint NFT, and then we're gonna issue that to the like the graduate of the bootcamp. And those NFT gonna be on directly on Asset Hub, so Polkadot Asset Hub.
Okay, great. Yeah, so the certificate NFT will be important because it's not just having an off-chain, a traditional certificate, but this is something that it's on-chain that you can prove that you have completed a bootcamp with OpenGuild and Mandala, so that if you're looking to join other bootcamps or hackathons or even join a team within the Polkadot ecosystem and other projects, having an NFT like this is much more valuable than just a standard paper or digital certificate.
Yeah, I think there's one question about from the audience, like, does the project run on Polkadot.js SDK? When do we use Rust? I think when you say like Polkadot.js SDK, you mean like the Polkadot.js API, Polkadot.js app, if I'm correct. But yeah, so like the Polkadot.js API or like any CAP tools on the Polkadot related to like Polkadot.js, it's basically just on the front end side, and like the layers of the like apps built in Polkadot itself gonna be like, yeah, Polkadot.js gonna be integrated to the application, decentralized application, to communicate with the substrate-based blockchain. And the substrate-based blockchain, if you want to, or I can say like the parachain, if you want to develop that, you need like the Polkadot SDK. So there are two like distinguished set of libraries. So one is the Polkadot.js and one is Polkadot SDK. Polkadot SDK is written 99% in Rust. So I can say like, if you like build a parachain, you have to learn how to like develop in Rust. Can you move the certificate easily to another wallet? You have Talisman and Nova setup. Yeah, so basically, like, if your wallet support like Polkadot, or except Polkadot setup, or like any Polkadot blockchain, that means like you can like transfer your like NFT like across all on the wallet. The wallet just basically like connect to the network itself, but like your asset is still like on the network. So whatever the asset is, if it have like the API to interact with the blockchain, then it can have like all the assets to your certificate. That's how amazing the blockchain is, because right now your certificate is always on change, or I guess like always on the blockchain. Doesn't matter like what kind of software, what kind of wallet that you use to interact with it. Yeah, I hope that's answered your questions.
Okay, any other questions or question in Bahasa?
Let me take a look real quick at today curriculum to say like if there's anything that can cover.
Okay, there's a question by Hermanto.
Hmm.
Does the parachain run on Polkadot JS? Oh yeah, that's already been answered. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, no worry. If you have like your own question, you can also answer that as well. And your own answer to the question.
Yeah, so this is week 4, and these are the topics. Yeah, regarding the ZombieNet exercise, we will share that more this week.
I think I haven't covered front-end iteration, so maybe when I try
Mm-hmm.
to, let me, can I share my screen? I'm gonna have like a very quick demo on like how you can interact with your subject exchange.
Yep, amazing. Okay, I'll stop presenting.
Okay, let me share my screen again. So also related to the questions that Polkadot.js SDK, right? Actually, it's not an SDK, just Polkadot.js. But yeah, like I must say, Polkadot.js right now is already deprecated. And if you want to build like the front-end applications that interact with your blockchain, you don't want to use like Polkadot.js, but like there's a few other options like Polkadot API. Polkadot API, yeah, Polkadot API. So this Polkadot API is the one of the latest options, like for you to use the client library to interact with the substrate blockchain on the front end side. Or you can also use DDOT. So this DDOT is built by one of the community member of OpenGuild as well, and he's like got a fund from like Web2 Foundation brand. So there are like two like core libraries like Puppy, or we can say like Polkadot API and DDOT. You can like consider using one of those. And I think like if you already like, how many people here are familiar with like React development, like front-end development using React, and you like already like use like create React app before? Let's give a thumbs up if you're already familiar with that. Okay. Now we go back, and there's just a new tool in the Polkadot ecosystem called typing, and it's also like built by the owner, the creator of DDOT as well. And I really like this project, and so I'm gonna give you guys a like quick demo on like how you can like bootstrap a new code base easily to like start like working on your front-end applications. So I'm gonna install running like create typing. This is similar to create React app, right? So in React app, you have like create React app, then you can create a new React app. But like for this, you're gonna use like create typing. Okay. So when you run create typing, it's gonna ask like, what is your project name? And I name it like man typing app. What example contract do you want to use? Then let's say like, if you want to interact with like the Ink smart contract, which is like PHP 22, you can consider that, or you can basically just use the return. Typing is built for like Ink smart contract, but yeah, you also like have the ability to just interact with substrate blockchain manually. So you're gonna select like reader, and then like what is the wallet connector? You can like consider using like zip connect or like talisman connect. Then you can select like zip connect v2, and you can also like select the network that you want to connect. And here is only they have like 4 options, because like default option and the 4 options support in smart contract. But you can basically just customize a bit to support all the kind of network. It's gonna select like pop testnet. Oh, come on. Okay, that's weird. But you don't see my screen? Okay. Yeah, I think like the CUI is having trouble right now. But anyway, now we go back. Just forget about it. But like if you want to try it, you can go to typing and then here, then try it yourself. Maybe like it's gonna work on the end, but like on my end somehow it doesn't work. But yeah, with typing you're gonna have like the template similar to like create React app to just kickstart working on Substrate blockchain. Here another one that built by OpenGuild as well. It's called like .ui. Yeah. So with this tool.ui, when you clone it, you're gonna have like you're gonna have like a template code. It's similar to like scaffold add in Ethereum, and this with this boilerplate, then you can like connect to wallet. Here like, you can connect wallet. This boilerplate is support like EVM compatible blockchain in Polkadot ecosystem like Moonbeam or like Plaza Polkadot Asset Hook. So you can like connect your wallet. This is using like Rainbow wallet, or you can also like create a wallet. And when you click create wallet, you can also like create a wallet with your seed phrase, or not the seed phrase, with your like seed pass. So here I'm gonna like create a seed pass with a this Google, and then create a recovery pin. Now the passkey is get is store, and then like you click get wallet, verify with biometric. And now you have like a brand new wallet created. This is the embedded wallet created from your SIGPass, and it's only like binding to the current browser sections. So yeah, that's how amazing this template is. You also have a few other kind of options on the UI side as well, like send transactions. And here you can have like the boilerplate to send the transactions. Like I'm gonna enter the amount of token that you want to send, the amount, and then when you send, it's gonna also have the UI for transaction status. All these are just on the UI side, and yeah, so just clone the repo, and then you can like get started working on the front end side. There's a couple of questions here. So can the Polkadot.js on the front end be used to interact with smart contract on a parent, or is it mainly for blockchain functions? I can say yes. So like Polkadot.js or like Polkadot API or like DDOT, all these client libraries have the ability to interact with a smart contract on a parent. Depend on what kind of smart contract is it that? Because like, for example, like Polkadot.js, they just mainly like communicate with the palette configure on the runtime, and smart contract basically just a part of the palette. For example, like in smart contract, just a program deploy on the palette contract, and this palette contract can be accessed by the client library. So the answer to that is yes, but depend on like what kind of library that they're gonna like try to make it easier to interact with. For example, like if you like Solidity smart contract, that is just basically deploy on like palette EVM, another type palette configure for the runtime to have the ability to execute Solidity smart contract deploy on the project. Yeah, hope that answers your questions. Okay, so a couple of questions from Zara. What are the key considerations when deploying a crowdfunding platform on Polkadot? And what are the cost implications of deploying a smart contract-based crowdfunding system on Polkadot? For the first questions, like key considerations when deploying a crowdfunding, I think like this question is quite general and abstract, but like you can consider looking at Polymac. They are basically like a crowdfunding platform on Polkadot as well, and you can look at like the Polkadot Polymac node to see like if there are any like constraint or like any type of improvement that you can make from like the Polymac code base. I think like the main key consideration would be maybe the security, but like most of the time, like if you can like deploy on your relation, then the security might not be like the thing that you should care about. And also related to like the second question is smart contract based crowdfunding. If it's smart contract based crowdfunding, like make sure your like smart contract execution layer, like Pilot EVM or like Pilot contract, is configured in the right way, with like the reasonable weight system, say like the gas system. So in that way, like people who like develop a smart contract to access to I don't know, like the fund on the price change is gonna be like accessed in a secure way and also like reliable. Also, the second question asked about the cost implication of deploying smart contract base. I gonna say like it's just the cost implication of deploying our price change. So as you can see there, like in 1 parcel is gonna cost around like 3,000 parcel, but I don't remember how much it costs on Polkadot itself. But I think it's gonna be around like 10,000. No, like I think it's gonna be around like 5 to 10,000 to register the purchase ID, and then the cost for like buying a new core. So the core, let's go to the core time marketplace, region X again, and then region X, and then so on region X, we're gonna go with the Polkadot network, and the cost for one core right now is around, the floor price, it's gonna be around like 0.05 to like 1.35. So I could say like maybe around like 5,000 to 10,000 for you to deploy branch change, not including the cost of development and research. It's just the cost for deploying. But you also I think that you also need the like a cost to cover the part of deploying a collator node as well. And when you deploy a collator node, you're gonna need like the cloud instance. So there's gonna be deploys parity. Deployment. Yeah, so I think that this doc right here is quite cover most of the part. Then you can revise the knowledge, but it's basically just cover everything that I walk through in the demo. So yeah, just follow the doc, and I think the cost gonna be around 10,000, I can say. Maybe the Adrian gonna be the Mandala team gonna be like more experienced with this because there's already like deployed the actual price change. Yeah. Yeah, there's a this question is interesting. But I think like it's the responsibility of the client libraries. Like that's the reason why you have to choose like the top latest like client libraries like DDoT or like Puppy to interact to your front end, because like that's the part of them. So, but I think like most of the client library gonna like handle this issue. And as a library user, you don't have to like care about this issue, I can say so. Or if like you have that issue using like one of the libraries, just feel free to share. Maybe they're on OpenGuild Discord or something, and then like I'm happy to help you to debug or like help you to come up with like a more reliable approach. Yeah. I think that right now I have to go, so I cannot like stay here longer. But I'm really happy to be here and then like over everything about the Polkadot and interaction on the front end. If you have like any questions, like feel free to ask. Let's send to Adrian or send to Mandala team or let's send to like OpenGuild Discord. And I'm very happy to help you guys. So yeah, I have to go now. Yeah, thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Tin. Thanks for all your time and support. Actually, Tin, can you hang on for a few more minutes? Actually, maybe one more minute. We'll
Okay.
get everyone to turn on their cameras, and we'll do a group shot. 1 second. Okay, you can stop sharing your screen, or actually, the way you do it now looks like there's a lot of people. All right. Okay, teman-teman. Turn on your cameras so we can do screenshot, group shot. All right. So today, what we're going to do is, see if we can do two things. I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then we say Web3. But see if you can also at the same time hit an emoji. Can be thumbs up, can be clap, whatever emoji you want. Okay. So when I say, okay, good, Zara. But wait 1 second. Okay, ready? Camera on and get ready to hit the emoji. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Web3. Hit the emoji. Amazing. Bagus sekali. Okay, very good. Okay, guys. It's end of the live session today, but it's not the end of the learning and it's not the end of the bootcamp. We will continue with conversations on Discord, and we will send out reminders on how you can finish the bootcamp and also what you can do after this week to continue your learning and also to finish the graduation and receive your certificates. Okay, thank you for tonight, and speak to you soon again on Discord. Terima kasih banyak.